Hello and welcome to another BGS tutorial. This tutorial focuses on defining your target market. No matter how amazing, appealing or unique your product or service is, if it's marketed to the wrong people, it will never reach its full potential. Nothing is more certain than this. It is the single most important factor for growing your business. World-class marketing is built on one main principle: clearly identifying the people or businesses that you are trying to reach. This sounds like a very obvious statement to make, yet 99% of all businesses fail to do this, or fail to do it effectively. Before you write a single word, you must define your target market or target markets. The perfect target market is a clearly identified group or groups of people or organizations who 1. Need and more accurately want your products or services, 2. Can afford to pay for your products or services, 3. Can be easily reached by your marketing efforts, and 4. Have similarities, demographics or psychographic, which enable you to easily identify them and group them together. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is to try and be all things to all men. Yes, you can achieve results using this method, but by focusing on one or more niches or target markets, you'll achieve far greater success. So why do so many people try to be all things to all men? In most cases, it's because they're frightened to limit the number of people or businesses they specifically target. They think if they reduce the number of prospects, they'll risk their whole livelihood. Nothing could be further from the truth. I'm often asked, if I limit my market, won't I be reducing the chances of doing business with more people? Of course you will, but to succeed in today's competitive marketplace, you need to concentrate your marketing on a small number of well-chosen segments or niches into which you pour all your resources. Because you are targeting fewer companies or people, the same amount of money you could have spent marketing to everyone is spread across a smaller number. Therefore, you have more to spend on each prospect than you would if your market was bigger, or you can spend less because your market is smaller. Either way, your chances of improving your success are enhanced considerably. In a nutshell, your target market is a segment which represents your best chance of getting a good return for your marketing efforts. Plus, you don't have to limit yourself to just one target market. You can have several. Of course, if you focus on a smaller group, you may miss the business from outside the target group. But what actually happens is you increase the amount of business you receive from each target group. This is because you are specifically meeting the target market's needs and requirements. You are saying to them that you are the company that knows about their specific situation, specific problems, and specific concerns. No other company specifically meets their needs in this way, and therefore you are seen as the logical company to turn to. So it's very important to identify your target market before you do anything else. So let's take a look at what all this looks like. This diagram shows the traditional and very common mass marketing approach. This red circle represents the market universe, in other words, all the people or businesses that could buy your product or service. These black dots represent the people or businesses who are in a position to buy, and the white space represents the people or businesses that are unlikely to buy, but they all receive the same marketing message from you. Notice you have to spend much more money to get lucky and hit the right people or businesses. So what's the result of this approach? First, there's a high cost to reach buyers. Second, response is low because you're targeting everyone with a mass market message, i.e., it doesn't directly appeal to the buyers. And third, greater effort is required to qualify out bad prospects. If you're targeting everyone, you will also get a large number of poor prospects. When you see it shown like this, it makes sense why so many marketing campaigns fail and so many businesses really struggle to grow, because nothing's working in your favour. Now let's take a look at the target market approach. Once again, the red circle represents the market universe. This blue oval is the target market. These black dots represent the people or businesses outside the target market who are in a position to buy. You can't hope to catch everyone. There will still be other people or businesses outside the chosen target market that we miss, but notice how few there are. These green dots represent the people or businesses inside the target market who are in a position to buy. See now that by concentrating our efforts on a carefully selected target market, we capture a high proportion of potential buyers. Our message is completely focused on this group, so responses increase significantly. So what's the result? Well, identifying a target market gives us the ability to concentrate our efforts on a smaller, more targeted group. That means we can spend more targeting each prospect, or even enables us to cut our spend. It also increases the likelihood of a sale and enables us to quickly capture a big slice of this group. As I said earlier, you don't have to restrict yourself to just one target market. You may find it necessary to focus on 2 or more target markets, depending on the product or service sold. But remember, you will have to communicate differently to each target market. Okay, so before I wrap up, here's a simple but very powerful example of why defining your target market is so powerful and why you must do it. Let's say you've just set up a new business and you need an accountant. Your first choice is to look in the yellow pages under the accountancy category. Although there are a number of ads, the first one reads ABC Chartered Accountants, tax preparation, auditing, bookkeeping, payroll services, help for startups, management accounts, and so on. But the second ad reads XYZ Chartered Accountants, specializing in helping startups get their businesses running quickly, profitably, and effectively. Which firm of accountants are you likely to choose? The answer is obvious, but it serves as a reminder of how effective this strategy is, but amazing how rarely we see it. If you can create this bond between you and your target market, I guarantee you'll grow the business quicker than you could ever imagine. Now head over to the step-by-step instructions and follow the 4 simple steps you need to apply to define your perfect target market. And remember, defining your target market costs you absolutely nothing. Once again, thank you for watching this tutorial, and here's to your continued growth and success.